It says we're live. It says we're live.
Good morning, live.
I mean, Freddie was 3 knuckles deep a minute ago, so you know.
Dude.
Knuckle mining for nose gold, baby. Good morning, y'all. How are you? This is not Coffee and Ham Radios, as you know. This is not Nuggets either. That's tomorrow night. That's a whole nother show. And I'm going to try and point with the right hand here. Oh, look, it even worked. Brother Freddie is filling in this morning for T.O., who gave me some lame excuse about, we have to migrate early this morning because reasons, I don't know, whatever.
Oh, well, when you're on the move, you're on the move.
I think he's going fishing. I'm not entirely sure
That
what
would be so nice.
he's up to. I don't know. I don't even know if the brother fishes. But anyway, so just in case y'all did not know and have not heard this story, and I don't know all the details, T.O. had this older model F450 truck that he was towing the camper with, the trailer. It's like a 34-foot, 36-foot. It's not small. And so they're going into Colorado, and the hills are too much for the 2006, 2008 F450 diesel with 27 billion miles on it. And he's making 20 miles uphill. So had to stop, called the tow truck. Everything's fine. They're fine. This was like last weekend. Maybe the end of last week. I don't remember, but they're fine. T.O., if you don't know, can squeeze a dime and get 9.9 cents back out of it.
True that.
He's a bit tight-fisted. The Scottish would call him a frugal lad. I'd call him a cheap bastard. But anyway, so I said, son, you need to buy. Oh, TC Fitz, thank you for the $20 super chat. Happy Sunday to you. Appreciate it. There's no dancing on this show, by the way, Freddie, so we don't have to. I mean, the people haven't asked, and if you've ever seen me dance, it's like an old fat chicken who still can't dance.
You don't want to see me dance.
Having some sort of disease. But morning, Andy Cowley, Cooley, 45 Hillbilly Ham. Look, all y'all dropping in. Iowa Hank was the first one in this morning. Chavez, Tony, James, Gray Man sent you. That's right. John.
Oh, yeah.
Right, John, who hasn't skipped church for fishing? Possibly. Sean. Morning, all y'all. So anyway, so I said, Tio, what are you going to do? And he's like, well, I need to see about getting the truck fixed. And Tio does not like buying new cars because I don't even get his logic. But my mind, it's like, it's your house, dude. You're driving your house around. I'd want a car that was made in this decade that had a warranty and would probably work okay. And he just doesn't like getting new cars. I mean, I know he bought a 98 Expedition just 2 or 3 years ago and drove that around for a while, pulling the small trailer when they had that. I'm like, a 98 for crying out loud. Wow.
Seems so far back now, doesn't it?
It does. I mean, it's almost.
Remember when they were new?
That's almost 30 years ago. Well, yeah, all the fire chiefs in Montgomery were driving around, and the chief trucks were all Expeditions.
Yeah.
And they had drivers, but they were like fully equipped medical trucks too. But it's kind of scary to see an Expedition coming down the road with lights and siren and everything going. Like, yeah, I'm getting out of the way.
Exactly, because you don't know what's going to fly off of it if they have to turn real tight.
Ron, thank you for the $10 super chat. Appreciate it, buddy.
Your boy.
So anyway, long story, Steve bought a new vehicle. So, hallelujah.
Smokes. Brand spanking new, like right off the lot new.
6 miles on the Odo.
New car smell new.
New car smell, right? No bubble gum under the dashboard, no chip funk or old fries under the seats.
Hidden surprises behind the back
I'm
seat
like,
there.
wow, Steve, I'm so proud of you. My little boy has grown up. He bought a real car like a normal person. Chavez, thank you for the $4.99 super chat, brother. Appreciate it.
I got to admit, it's still hard for me to go and look at brand new vehicles. Number one, the car salesman experience is not my favorite thing to ever do in this world.
I'd rather have a root canal.
Yes. So my last new vehicle was right in the middle of COVID, which was the perfect time to go car shopping because there was limited access and contact with you, you know. So I shopped online and found a 1-year-old vehicle. And because I almost bought a brand new Ram pickup, brand spanking new. So I waited for a 1-year-old Ram pickup and saved 15 grand. And
Nice.
feel pretty good about it still.
My last used car was a 99 Escalade that I bought in '01, I think.
Oh, the Escalades.
Yeah, this was the original run of Escalades when they were still basically, my friends called it the Escaho, because it was basically, well, actually, I don't know why I didn't call it an Escabourbon, because it was basically a suburban body.
Exactly.
Badged as an Escalade. And I liked it. I drove the hell out of it. I put another 80, 90,000 miles on it before I traded it in. But I've been an F-150 guy since got rid of the Escaho. But
You know, I've actually been looking down that road. I almost went the Ford route. You know, I grew up in my family they were Chevrolet people, all of them, on my dad's side, and Ford was the devil. You know, so I didn't ever look that way. And as years go by, and you grow up and you start forming an opinion of your own, I really looked hard and fast at a lot of Ford pickups because they're not the devil. There's some very good ones out there.
they're decent vehicles. Yeah. I've had nothing but good luck with them, honestly.
And the Ram is just the new style of Ram pickup. That's what stole my heart away. It's beautiful. I just love the way it looks.
It is, and I've had a Dodge pickup. I have not always had Ford. I had Dodge. I had Dodge before the Escalade. I think I had a couple of them.
Oh yeah,
Late
the
90s.
early on new body style, as we called it.
Yes, that's right. Late 90s.
The
Dodge
old
pickups.
school square body style Dodge pickups were like, yeah, you know.
And then they went to that rounded hood on the front, and
gave it a nice international look, kind of. It was, it was totally worth it. But I still didn't pull the trigger until this new body style came out. Mine's a 19, I think. And I don't know what it is. And I wished I'd have noticed this sooner, but Ram, their designers, you know, how they put everything together in the vehicle and all these little cubbies and all, it's just very clever. There's a lot of cleverness in play with the different things that they offer. I found a few hidden compartments I didn't even know I had.
Oh, yeah. Well, they're all like that.
Yeah, I tell you, it's every time I turn around, it's something new. I'm like, hey, well, that was a great idea. You know, they didn't think of this crap in the 70s. They put our car jacks under the hood where they were rusted by the time you actually needed them. Oh, gee whiz. I had a 76 Chevy pickup. I had a couple of them. And the car jack was stored under the hood. You remember that?
Yeah, yes.
On the firewall, up on the fender well.
On the firewall, right by the fender well on the passenger side, I think.
I want to say that's right. And I couldn't tell you how many friends I helped over the years jumpstart their Ford pickup by crossing the solenoid with a screwdriver.
Oh, yeah.
That's just the way it was done.
Anyway, that was the story. That T.O. bought a new vehicle, and I was so proud of him. For my part in vehicles, I just paid off my F-150 Super Crew.
Oh, yeah.
I'm enjoying no truck payments for a while.
It's a wonderful life, isn't it?
Now, if only my daughter would hurry up and hit 19, then life would be grand. But 4.5 years to go on that. So
I used to have a boss that said all kids should be born at the age of 18. Way as soon as they're born, you can ship them right off to the Army.
get them out of the house, get a job, go to the military. I don't care. Just get out.
Get out.
No. Well, I mean, Macy lives with her mom. She doesn't live here, but she comes over, all the time. And she's a great kid. I just would like to not have that financial burden, but I've got to. No, baby, if you're watching, you're not the burden, okay? No, you're not the burden, Macy.
I'm the burden.
You're the accident. I was the incident. Whatever. Anyway.
Oh, gee whiz, yeah.
Chris, a Super Crew with the 8-foot bed. My boss used to have one.
Oh, dude.
And he could not park the damn thing anywhere, hardly, because it's so long. It's huge.
Yeah, it's like a bus.
Yeah.
It's a bus you don't want to back into because you're going to be on the worst end of the deal if you do.
I mean, I got to say, I would love having an 8-foot bed in that pickup truck at times.
When you need it, yeah.
But I don't want to have to parallel park a Super Crew with an 8-foot bed. I can parallel park like a witch. I mean, I'm good at parallel parking, very good. But I don't know about with the super extended.
The Super Cab plus the 8-foot bed.
Right.
That's a limo.
My wife's Italian. That's where that comes from, I think. I don't know. But she's from Alabama, so I don't know. So what's going on with you? How's All-Star treating you? What are you doing?
Tell you what,
are you pushing back some bounds?
Pretty much. I mean, right now, everything is in flux. I don't know if I've told everybody this story yet or not, but you're going to find out eventually because I can't shut up about it. My wife and my brother-in-law both have full-time jobs, but they flip houses on the side. They find a good deal, work on it as they can, try to make some money on it. Cool. And the one that they're working on now, gee whiz, I don't know how, it's been a couple of months, 3. They've been working on it. And a few months ago, my wife decided we're going to keep this one. So we're going to sell our house and move in. And it's at the same town that we're already in. So to get our house ready that we're in now to show, we've converted part of this shop that's in the backyard for my shack. And I literally have taken like 10 loads of stuff down here and I finally have everything moved into it. And as of yesterday, I'm building shelves, unpacking stuff. I just found this microphone last night, literally last night. So, but in the meantime, I've been working with T.O. and Hayden on the
dingus.
The dingus, the what do we call them? The Toads.
The Toads DI, yeah, digital interface board, yeah.
I've got one running right now. And I'm hooked up to my hub, and it works great. Don't get me wrong, it works fantabulous. It took me a while to get the audio settings right because it's got 2 potentiometers on there, and I think they're 20 turn.
So does that replace some of the software settings like in Simple USB?
It gives you more power. Now, it doesn't replace those settings because you're going to want those as well. But when you get these potentiometers, and I got them brand new and soldered them onto the board, and they're all the way in one direction, and I needed to go almost all the way in the other direction. So I'm going about 5 turns at a time, checking the audio, 5 turns, checking the audio, tweaking it and back and forth. And I'm really impressed that I can do that. There are a few of these out there that will do that, but not many. And I know of one that will only do one side. This one does receive and transmit audio. You can adjust. So having that ability, yeah, I love that. I love that a lot. And as time has permitted, I've been working on that. I've got like 3 product reviews I'm working on. And tried to unpack at the same time, or move and unpack. It's been something. It hasn't been boring. It hasn't been boring at all. But I don't know if I've ever been.
So I assume this new house is a serious upgrade.
Oh yeah. Well, it's not so much in size. It's, we're actually going down a bedroom, but it's like 2 have been converted into 1. But it's an enormous yard, 2-car garage on the house, and the shop in the backyard, and I've got a third of it for my shack, and the rest of it's big enough to park another vehicle in. We're going to put, our lawnmower and all of our implementations and workbenches in there for my wife's business.
I mean, I see building a wall and air conditioning your third of that building.
We've already done that. That's the first thing we did.
My man.
Right behind me is a brand new wall.
Nothing like a good wall. Hell yes.
Insulated wall.
Yes. When I took over, my father-in-law had a 12 by 24 building he used to store old man junk in.
Yes.
And when he passed and I acquired all that crap, I threw away the 75 cans of rusty nuts and bolts that he saved. Bless the man would save everything. Those are for hard times, Jim. I'm like,
yes, sir.
Pop, I swear to God, if you need a bolt, I will drive to Montgomery to buy you the exact bolt. We don't need to save all of them. Amen. Tires. Anyway, so I cleaned it out, and it was way too big to cool that I wanted to pay for. So that's the first thing I did was build a wall halfway through, insulated the rest of it, so it's a whole lot less to cool to keep me from. So I use the other side for storage.
I'll tell you what
of
this is
random
about.
crap.
Let's see.
So what size is
I
your?
want to say I'm 12 foot wide, 25 feet long, something like that. Oh, Jim,
Not
did
bad.
I lose you or did you lose me? You're frozen.
Am I frozen? My stupid inner. Are you
There,
kidding?
you're
me?
back.
Okay.
I don't know if it's you or me.
Charter
It's
Spectrum
probably
Internet.
me. I'm on T-Mobile home internet.
Spectrum Internet always decides to poop itself like at 9:00 on Sunday morning. It's like a thing with those people. And you haven't stopped moving. You've been fine, and your video is fine. So I don't know.
Oh, good. I'm on this
Well-
T-Mobile home internet for now, but well, I guess we'll see how it goes. I don't get very much firewall control, but I needed something quick till I get my other one moved.
Well, I just I have Spectrum, which used to be Charter. I think they're easing into changing their name to Spectrum. I have no idea, or it's Charter Spectrum. I don't know. I can't figure out their marketing and branding. And that's our only cable internet out here. I'm not in Montgomery City environs. I'm out in Montgomery County, and so I have cable internet, and it works great. 99.19% of the time. 98% of the time, maybe. But then the other 1 or 2%, it just randomly and then comes back.
Yep.
So I just put in
something
StarLink
similar.
like 3 weeks ago
Oh, really? How's that working?
as a backup. I haven't tweaked it
A
yet
failover.
to my satisfaction, but I'm using a Unify UDM Pro firewall here. So I have the StarLink coming in, and I have the going to the second WAN port on the firewall, and I have it in failover mode. I can either load balance or I can failover. And the other option I can do, which I may do, is create a separate VLAN just for StarLink, and then I'm going to put in a second network card in this computer today, so I can hard switch back and forth between them from the computer end. But right now the firewall's handling it, and it's in failover mode.
That's great.
I'm
You know,
getting
that's
about
what we do at work.
180 to 220 down and about 35 up, which is well enough for streaming.
Yeah.
You know. So I would love to have another internet option besides Starlink, but T-Mo and all those home internet ones, because Verizon has that too. It's not available at your house. I'm like, my cell reaches my house.
Here's the thing, man. I'm on FirstNet on my phone. FirstNet AT&T, right?
Yep.
And I'm in Henrietta, and always had a great signal. Always. This new place is at the fringe of the city limits. I mean, we're right at the edge, and we get here, and I've got one bar on AT&T. Really, one?
Mm-hmm.
And so I've got my little T-Mobile hotspot that I carry around. I use for AllStar. Turn it on, and I'm full scale because I remembered 5-6 blocks from here is a 5G T-Mobile tower, line of sight almost. And I thought, hey, T-Mobile home internet, because I'd had that once before. But the drawback to T-Mobile home internet, you get great speeds, but you don't get any control of your firewall. It's CG netted. So I'm working with my Tailscale, and I can't get inbound
Bubba.
connections.
Drop me a call. I can fix that.
And I'll need all the help I can with that, because I love the Tailscale. Don't get me wrong, but
I'm smarter than CG NAD.
I need to be able. I want people to connect inbound to my node.
Yeah.
And I have to connect to my hub right now to get that done because it's a cloud hub.
Right.
But
Starlink is CG netted as well,
yes.
and it hasn't been a problem.
Okay. Well, you and I will do some tech talk on the side.
There are 20 ways to slice and dice this. We can stick it to the man, and there's CG net.
And the beauty about this is I got it in the window, the T-Mobile modem, like T.O.'s got. Thing it was like 300 down. 300 down.
That's pretty good.
Like 100 up, or no, 75 or 100 up. I can't remember. It was fast. I'm like, wow, this is great. Because Optimum, which is another cable TV, home internet service in our area, loves to give you decent service for a year and then jack your price up. and then decent service for maybe a year and jack your price up again. And then your service gets slower and slower. It's just, it's very frustrating because you're sharing your block, all that bandwidth you're sharing with your neighbors. And it's, sometimes you just, well, you've seen me on streams.
Well, the way Spectrum's going around here, I think my neighbors must be downloading porn or something. Get off Pornhub, damn it, kid!
It's like,
you're gonna go blind.
God almighty. Yeah,
there's other options, and several people have mentioned Mint Mobile. Now, I will tell you, I've had a little experience with them. TO is the authority on Mint Mobile,
really,
which is an MVNO off of T-Mobile, I think. Is that right?
I want to say it's T-Mobile.
I think so. So, for example, up at Huntsville next month, on top of the mountain, the state parks have cable TV in every cabin, but there's no damn internet up there.
Which is why it's crazy. I don't
pulled cable to the cabins for cable TV in the cabins at the park, but you don't have internet. I mean, dudes, for a couple grand, I can hook y'all up. We can fix this.
Exactly.
So TO last year, Mint Mobile has this plan you can get, and most of you, if you have a reasonably current phone, it has 2 eSIMs in it. And you can get their unlimited data, 3 months is like $45. So I turned it on. I had decent, not stellar, but I had decent coverage on the mountain with the Mint Mobile. Usable. I mean, it wasn't hot streaming goodness good, but it was well enough that I could go to Pornhub or wherever. I mean, any random sites while I was up there.
And
Verizon is my normal carrier. And Verizon on top of the mountain is 1 bar. If you use your imagination, squint hard, and hold your phone up and
put your aluminum foil helmet on.
Yeah, it's really, and I don't think AT&T is a whole lot better on top of the mountain, but
I did okay with my FirstNet hotspot, which is just AT&T. But since it's FirstNet, it will roam to other carriers as needed.
Right.
But I did decent. It wasn't blazing fast by any means. I could check my email and check a few things and hit a few videos here and there. But, I wasn't on the computer as much. I was mainly just trying to upload something here and there. Dave,
that is what's in my truck is the AT&T. Because it's just so convenient having a hotspot built in the truck.
Oh my gosh.
I have a Verizon physical hotspot dingus, which, by the way, I'm actually thinking about trying to hook up instead of the StarLink and see how well that works for me for backup internet. The downside to StarLink, and somebody mentioned it in there, if my internet goes out here because it's raining really hard, Spectrum, because I think they have a physical cable problem somewhere on my line that they refuse to come find. I mean, if it's raining hard enough, Starlink's going to potentially be out too. So, yeah. And I'm gonna play with the Verizon hotspot and see if I can make a WAN 3 in that firewall and dinkle with it, or just unplug Starlink and use the hotspot instead. But because my hotspot has a wired plug in it, so I can literally Ethernet the hotspot into the firewall.
Oh, I like that. Yes.
So I could put the hotspot in a tub, a Rubbermaid or something, and throw it out on the back porch where my bricks and metal roof are not messing with it. I mean, in a pinch, right? A brother needs internet.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, dude. I can live in the middle of nowhere and be happy as long as I've got an internet connection.
Right. Hamstick, what's up, buddy? He said his held up in a Cat 1 hurricane.
Oh, no.
You still had service? That's cool. I don't know. I don't have it. I haven't had it long enough to have a good feeling for how rain's going to affect it. Although it's rained every freaking day here, but
I think we sent you guys all of our rain, dude.
Oh my God.
We've had over 30 inches in 90 days.
Yesterday was the first time it did not rain at my house in probably 2 weeks. At least 2 weeks.
We got about 5 minutes yesterday. It's like, really?
Yeah.
It's been crazy springtime around here.
Yeah.
And God bless those poor folks in Texas. Did you hear about that?
Yeah, the flood.
Oh my Lord.
They're still finding bodies. A bunch of the kids at that church camp, apparently the river, and I can't remember which one it is, Guadalupe River, just went stupid. And it was like a double-digit feet, just boom, like
Yes.
a flash
They're,
flood kind of deal.
they're talking like 100-year flood,
Yeah.
flash flood. Flash floods are the worst. And you try to plan for things like that. But, when you get 100-year flood, 100-year rain, they come. And next thing you know, you're unprepared.
25 inches in 45 minutes. Holy shit.
Gee whiz.
That's
How do you fight
apocalyptic.
that? How do you fight that?
That is insane. Now where my house is, we're on the 100-year floodplain, and I've been here 35 years. 35 years. I can't math. But so far it's never gotten anywhere close to my house. And I feel pretty confident that during my remaining time as a senior gentleman, I'm probably safe. But we have to pay some stupid FEMA fee, I guess, to subsidize the idiots who keep moving right back to the P River down in Elbow when it floods every other Tuesday.
Yeah. I keep hearing about how they're going to not allow certain structures to be rebuilt in flood zones, and yet they're rebuilt or still there. Or there's places around my county, especially, where about every 3 or 4 years they flood because we get the big spring rains like we did this year. But sometimes we get them so fast that we don't have drain time. This year we had enough drain time between rains. It wasn't horrible. But I see these houses flooded over the years, over and over again. And I'm like, why? It just seems like you're asking for more trouble.
Yeah.
But I understand
Chavez knows what I'm talking about. Yeah. And I'm bless their hearts. I mean, I wouldn't want to move from my house, right? Mostly because I'm just an old crusty guy. But I mean, if it keeps flooding every 2 or 3 years, maybe you should find someplace else to live. I'm just saying. Before something like the Texas situation happens. I mean, somebody said it crested 5 to 10 feet above major flood stage. The Guadalupe did.
Gee whiz.
That's insane. So yeah. But I don't know. I feel bad for them all. And to lose your child that way, to lose anybody that way, is terrible. I would not want to go by drowning in a flood. But
Lee NA5T, and
we just call him Lee McNasty.
Lee McNasty. No, he's right, because we have the same little motto around here in our part of the state: "Turn around, don't drown." Yep. But I want to point out something. It's either Arizona or New Mexico, and I can't remember which state.
It's Arizona.
Arizona. They actually have a law. If you cross those,
that.
They have a law. If you go around the boundaries to go through floodwaters, you get not only ticketed, but you also get fined for the amount of money that it costs to send first responders out there to save your hind.
To save your dumbass.
And I've seen it a million times around here, and I'm like, where has this been all my life?
I used to live
in Oklahoma.
I was stationed at Luke Air Force Base back in the 80s when I was active duty military. And Luke is out on the outskirts of Phoenix. It's out actually past Glendale, closer to the White Tank Mountains. And so it doesn't rain a lot in Arizona, but when it rains, it's like a monsoon in 10 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
All the water, 10 minutes.
It's all or nothing.
Yeah, and flash floods are a real concern out there, especially if you're not in town, even in town. But if you're out in the county, and that's Maricopa, I think it is, there's a lot of dry washes. I think the word for them is arroyo. And if you get caught in one of those when it decides to rain like it does out there, you're going to have a bad day, because it's like an instant flash flood. I mean, it's truly the definition of a flash flood in some places.
Oh, yeah. And you, if you're not ready to get up and run away from it, you've lost.
Yeah.
Because that's how quickly that whole situation is going to change.
Lee, I was stationed there for a year and a half. I loved Phoenix, and I loved Luke Air Force Base. I had a great time there. And Tina Schlegelmilch, if you're watching this, you missed your chance, girl.
How do you spell that last name?
I think I could still spell it. That was on her name tag. Which in the Air Force, you know where the name tag's weared, so I made sure to read her name carefully. I'm a pig, yes. So that was really her name. She's this cute girl that came into the place where I worked all the time on a regular basis with stuff, and I had the hots for her. And then I got an assignment and she quit coming over on a regular basis, and I never got to see her. So
That's the way it works.
Yeah.
It's how the world turns, right?
I mean, I
there.
hope she married somebody to change that last name. Bless her heart, Schlegelmilch.
Schlegelmilch.
Schlegelmilch. I think that's it. I mean, it's been 43 years since I've seen that girl, so I don't remember exactly, but yeah.
It's a good Irish name right there.
No, Rick, she did not look like Barbara Mandrell. That was plaintiff number one, who at the time was a ringer for Barbara Mandrell, and huge crush for Barbara Mandrell.
Oh my gosh. You remember the Barbara Mandrell show? Oh my Lord.
I couldn't really stand the show. I just watched it to look at Barbara.
Well, duh.
The other two dingleberries, I didn't care about her sisters. I'm like, whatever. But Barbara, I don't want this to become the Barbara Mandrell, love fest hour, but Barbara could play number of musical instruments, but when she was like a teenager. The woman she's not dead. She has immense musical talent, just immense. She was a country music entertainer of the year for 4, 5, 6 years in a row. I mean, she smoked it.
She was multifaceted, multi-talented. It's like a natural. Totally.
Oh, yeah.
Those
Loved her.
Days.
Still do. Barb, I'm not available anymore, Barb. Sorry. Brian Hendricks, thank you for the super chat. Thank you and your wife for your service as well. Appreciate it.
Amen to that. Thank you for your service for sure.
And a mixed marriage. An Air Force guy marrying an Army wife, an Army gal. So, yeah.
I had a cousin. Well, actually, my cousin's husband, it was in the Air Force. It was almost my choice of career after high school. I think I decided, he kept trying to, he said, like, hey, come to the Air Force and get some free training and electronics and everything. And I thought, you know what, if I don't get a law enforcement job, I'm gonna join the Air Force. And
Lou, thank you for that. I don't remember if that's how she spelled her name, but stir milk. Okay. Pink, thank you. Appreciate it.
We appreciate the translation as well.
Oh, Tina Schlegelmilch. I worked at the base level data automation. I never dated the girl, never went out with her, just made sure I was up front. So I was a computer operator. I was back in the mainframe, sacrificing chickens in the mainframe ops room. And so she was like the representative for, I think, finance or something. And she'd come over and get their listings and crap every day. And I normally was on mid shift, so I was leaving about the time she came in, but I would hang out late and just BS until Tina came in so I could see her.
Because Jim is not a dummy.
Jim is not completely dim. Not completely. Yeah. Anyway.
Bill's
Stories
in
of
the
a
chat.
million years ago. Bill! Good morning, sir. Slurry milk, isn't that German for milkshake?
Oh,
Sean,
yes,
there are so
milk.
many jokes that could go to, and I'm going to leave them all alone in honor of the super cute girl that I remember as Tina Schlegelmilch.
I used to have a boss.
Morning, Eamon.
Who was in the Judge Advocate General Corps, the JAG Corps.
Yeah.
She was a lawyer and also was for the military. And during the summer, she would do summer deployments to Germany. And one year she came back and brought us all some authentic German chocolate candy bars. Milk
Nice.
chocolate. It was called Milkenchock, I think. Oh my God. That's some of the best chocolate I ever had in my life. And I've never been a real big chocolate fan until I tasted this stuff. And the only thing in America that comes close is Hershey's chocolate or that Dove chocolate.
I'm not a huge chocolate fan. It's
I
kinda
really
lost on
wasn't
me.
either. It was exquisite. Because when I quit smoking, you got to find something else to do. And apparently eat a lot of chocolate was it for me.
Right.
Oh my goodness. Amazing.
So we're 34 minutes. I feel like this is Clubhouse. We're 34 minutes in. We actually should talk about ham radio a little bit occasionally. Well, we did say All-Star.
We did say All-Star.
We talked. Yeah. I got a couple things I wanted to share this morning.
Well, let's share away.
So I need to share a screen. 13 Colonies is going on through tomorrow. It says through the 7th. I don't know if that means the 7th of July, 0Z is when it stops, or if it's going to go through sometime.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. So if you haven't seen 13 Colonies, it's a special event with multiple stations that they do. Here is the website. And the website is 13colonies.us. Let me paste that in the chat.
This is something I actually want to do someday. I wanted to do it this year.
Chase said it was sounding like 80 meters this morning, right? I know. I'm sorry, buddy. Just two old geezers, and we both go down that road.
It is what it is.
So they are operating on. I found them on FT8 this morning, on 30 meters earlier this morning. So there's multiple stations. There's a lot of information on the website about it, and I'm not going to go through all of that. But in any case, 13 Colonies is going through tomorrow, and they have all sorts of different things. You can. A clean sweep, I think, is getting all the stations on all the bands and all the modes kind of thing, which is a lot.
Don't you have to get one British station?
I think there is a British station, and it's listed on there. Okay. Which one is that? GB13COL. That's the British station.
There it is.
Yeah. So they do this event every year. For the first week of July, the 1st through the 7th, because of Independence Day. Duh. But in any case, there it is, and they'll be on the air today operating, and I think through tomorrow. It says the 1st through the 7th. So somewhere on here they may have the time. Yeah, let's see. Here it is. 9 a.m. Eastern to July 7th, midnight Eastern. So till 11 p.m. Central Time tomorrow night, the way I read that.
Yep.
So, and you can get a certificate and a QSL card. They don't send them out for free. You got to pay for them. It's like $5. And all the money they make on their merch and stuff goes back to the supporting this event. So
I'm really going to I'm going to do this next year. I'm finally going to be ready. I get to put antennas up. I've got so many things to do. I'm so overexcited. I don't even have a rig set up in the shack yet. I got the studio set up, and here we are, man.
So that's going on. The other thing I wanted to talk about this morning was the unicorn that I found out it actually exists the other day.
Oh, yes, I heard about this.
So make of this what you will. Lee, I'm looking at you for some knowledge on this, and several of yous. We were told that you can't put an extension cable on it because there's voltage drop. Now,
it's like a big no, can't do this.
Can't do this. It'll cause your spine to curl, your hair to fall out. The Allies will lose the war. Yeah. Your girlfriend will leave you, take the dog and the pickup truck and the trailer. Bad things.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I am not an electrical engineer. I'm a knucklehead who does a YouTube channel and plays with computers a lot. But I'm like, voltage drop across something that's 5 or 15 feet? I mean, we're not talking a whole lot. And what the hell's the difference between your amp on a 3-foot cable or a 10-foot cable? And again, I'm not an electrical engineer. This is not my background as electronics. But I kind of thought the voltage drop story, which came from a nationally recognized personage related to this company, said that was the reason you couldn't use it because of voltage drop. And I thought, bullshit, I feel. But I don't have one, and I can't test it. Yeah. So I don't know. I'm not smart enough to just call BS on him and say that's crap.
Well, I got an FTX one, but I didn't get the Optimum, so I can't.
I have some experience with Yaesu, with the FTM 500. Freddie, I believe you do too.
I do.
And when I got my FTM 500 2 years ago at Dayton, year before, yeah, something like that, 2023, I think. Tio and I put it in the truck, and I don't want the radio body up on my dash. I just wanted the head up there where I had my FTM 400 head. because the FTM base was the 400 was in the back. And the cable is, designed to be that close and kind of useless. Why you have a separate head when you. And I looked at the cable and they said, this is just an 8-pin RJ45 straight through wire.
Exactly.
That's all this is. This is not some kind of special thing. TO, we are away to the Home Depot. So we went to Home Depot. I bought a Cat 6 Ethernet cable, put the 500 body in the back of my truck, slung the Ethernet cable under the floor, and ran it up to the head, and Bob's your uncle. The radio works fine.
Bingo, bango.
I was told by a nationally recognized name related to this company that you can't do that. It has to be the regular cable. We've gotten reports of guys who do that, and it causes problems. Again, bullshit.
Yeah.
That cable from Home Depot that I overpaid for is still connected to the 500 2 years later and still rocking my socks off. Works fine. No problem.
I have a little caveat for that, and it may not be the cable, because I did the same thing you did, but I ran a flat Cat 5, Cat 6 cable, front to back, no issues, works just fine. But occasionally, if I'm trying to change channels on the mic, it will only go in one direction.
I haven't seen that problem.
It would go up, and if I'd hit up, it would keep going up. But the next time you try, I may not even do it. So what I did, I thought, maybe there is something to it. That person that said that doesn't work right or whatever. So I went ahead and bought an authentic, genuine branded Yaesu cable, strung it front to back, and guess what? Still doing it. But it only does it super occasion. And I had to run this underneath the seats, up through the dash, to the top of the dash. There could be a pinch point in there or something I'm not catching. It's totally could be a thing, but it doesn't happen enough to keep me from using it. I love my FTM 500.
I haven't had any problem, and that I don't know. I haven't had that problem. Now, Freddie and I both had another specific problem with the radio that was launched at the time it was launched. The DTMF didn't work. And I thought, well, DTMF is brand new. It's never been used anywhere before 2023. I can see how they didn't get the tones exactly right, and 3 doesn't freaking work on the radio. I can see, because DTMF's only been around since when, Freddie? Like 1958,
and that's 1960? What I want to say. They really put it into full force in homes around the 60s.
Yeah. Late 60s, early 70s.
Yeah
we were fancy people. We drank our unsweet tea with our pinky extended because we had DTMF, and my best friends, we had touch-tone phones. My best friend was like, oh, waka, 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 waka. Waka, 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 waka. I do not miss those things.
Dude.
So, anyway, the cable drama continues. With Yaesu, and yeah, they probably told him a story and he repeated it, and I think that's what frosts my butt so bad about this whole thing. The answer was crap. I mean, it was like I thought it was crap. I mean, not scientifically, just I was like, voltage drop across 5 or 10 feet, you're talking nothing. That's nothing.
Yeah.
We're not talking we're running this thing out to a tower 700 feet away or something like that on RG8X. We're talking 5 or 10 feet in your dang car. BS.
Yeah.
And why in God's name would you sell it with 2 potential pieces, right? The amp piece and the head piece, without having a separation cable? Because who wants to put all that crap on their dashboard?
I mean, even in your shack, you could separate it a little
bit
to get some room.
Or tell your wife, baby, we're taking the front seat out of the Tahoe because I need to put the radio there. It can't really go anywhere else. You just have to sit in back. I mean, the marketing on it, and I don't have the radio. It's probably a fabulous radio. I love my FTM 500 now that they fixed the bug that annoyed the piss out of me in it. And I'm using it with my Rogue underground, Cat 6 cable.
Cat 6 cable.
I love my 500. It's a great radio. I've got an FT5D, love it. I got no problem with Yaesu. I'm not a Yaesu fanboy. I'm not an ICOM fanboy. Y'all know I pooped all over the 2730 when I got it. I was excited about that radio until I found out how not excited it made me.
These bigger companies are not infallible. I mean, I have always had my Yaesu leanings because I really like the way it sounds, performs, etc. My very first ham radio was an ICOM, and I enjoyed it thoroughly. But I don't know. To me, the Yaesu's always felt a little tougher, if you will. I don't know. Maybe it's all whatever. But their APRS has always been really, really, really good, in my opinion. But as you know, the FTX1 APRS had issues right out of the box with APRS, but KM4ACK, pardon me, Smart Jason got his firmware upgrade done. He did a video on it, and it is rocking APRS now.
Doc, that's exactly right. It's like that extremely stupidly priced ICOM bracket for that beautiful radio. I mean, to mount that radio, you get the radio, and there's no way to mount it in your vehicle unless you knew that you needed to buy brackets beforehand.
Yep.
And I mean, I wish that, and none of the vendors say this. So if you're just like, I want this radio, I have the money, I'm going to spend it. My wife will not know because I'll sneak it in with something, and it'll be fine. And then you get the radio, and it's like, I got no way to mount this, save literally sitting it on the seat of my vehicle to use it, because there's no friggin' way to mount it in the box.
It's just crazy.
And apparently ICOM's been doing that a long time. That was my first new ICOM mobile. I had a brand new 7300. I don't remember if it came with a mounting bracket. I don't think it did, but I also didn't care because I wasn't putting it in my truck.
Yeah.
But the 2730 was my first brand new mobile ICOM, and there was literally no way to mount the stupid thing. So I don't know. Anyway,
and just like this cable right here, it's something they wanted to do or didn't know if they could afford to do it, or wasn't sure they were going to make enough money on it. But once they heard the public outcry for, hey, why can't we separate the head from the unit? Then all of a sudden, the SCU 66 shows up after we've been told we can't do it, or your warranty will be voided if you try to do it yourself.
Yeah, and that was said also.
Yes.
Well, it was told to me about using one of those ghetto Cat 6 cables that, corporate networks use. Is like, that'll void your warranty. I don't know how you'd know that, but whatever.
Exactly.
And there's another. This is $119 for a 5-foot cable, 5 feet. So it doesn't have to sit on the dashboard. It can just sit in the console of your vehicle by the shifter or something, because it ain't long enough to go into the back seat. They do sell a longer one. I think there's a 10-foot one that's like another $10 or $20 more. This is just the first one that popped up when I searched for the Mystic cable. But so you can remote head your FTX1 now. And guys, I'm not hating on the radio. I don't have one. I don't know if I should hate on it or not. Smart Jason has issues with APRS, and he is, in my opinion, the god of APRS.
Yeah.
Sort of the guys who invented APRS. I ping ACK when I have APRS questions. And the man can pontificate about APRS in depth.
That's no joke.
But I'm like, they pooped all over. In fairness to a nationally recognized marketing sales guy for Yaesu, I assume he probably got bad info from Yaesu. I don't know if that's what they told him, voltage drop, or that's something he came up with. But I don't know. And maybe they didn't have the cable ready to sell at the time they launched the radio, and they just rushed the radio out without the cable. But I mean, I'm not the only one. Ham Radio Tube, Mike, K8MRD, has done several videos on this radio, and I believe he likes the radio. Ape has one of these. I think Chuck does too, because Yaesu, but Chuck is a Yaesu fanboy. But I'm not going to defend them. They pooped in their mess kit.
They could have handled it way better.
Way better.
And they launched it without the ability to reply to APRS messages.
Yeah, I mean, there's firmware bugs from the get-go, and understand, I'm sure they all have firmware bugs. God knows the Chinese radios have theirs. How many iterations of firmware did we go through for the X6100 when it came out 3 or 4 years ago?
Oh, yeah.
TO was doing like the firmware du jour, We all did videos on that thing. I had one. I thought it was a cool radio, but when it launched, the Bluetooth didn't work, the Wi-Fi didn't work. You know, that was an item, right? A selling point, a marketing feature,
Yep.
and didn't work. So it's not just Yaesu. I just think Yaesu handled the damn cable, a cable, the wrong way. And I will agree that is egregiously overpriced for a stupid 5-foot cable. And somebody mentioned the 10-foot one is like $10 more. So buy the 10-foot.
You get extra 5 feet for $10.
Yeah. So anyway,
if you remember when the FTM 500 came out, I got mine, excuse me, on pre-order, and I got it before Huntsville. And
Chuck, you're right.
It Yaesu didn't even have programming software on their website for it, but RT Systems did.
Yeah.
And
yes.
I bought it that day. It's like, yes.
Same here. I was at Dayton and I wanted to program the 500, and I couldn't find any CPS on Yaesu's website. I looked at RT. There it is. I'll take that. Thank you.
Yeah, exactly. And I think I got the Mac version too. If
I'm
not mistaken. I didn't buy their cable because I'm just doing the SD card transfer, you know. One less cable to go looking for.
So one other thing I wanted to ping this morning, now that we have flogged radio vendors, specifically we have flogged the bejesus out of Yaesu. And again, I flogged ICOM. I flogged, who makes that thing? The Zygu, the 6100.
The Zygu, yes.
Shegu. Do you say Shegu or Zygu? So two other things I wanted to mention this morning. This is something I bought, and there's a link for this in the description of the video below, and it's an affiliate link. So if you buy this, helps out the channel, doesn't cost you any more. Full disclosure, love you, mean it, thank you. This is one of the best dinguses I have ever seen for home use. This is a KVM switch that is, I am sharing that screen, right?
Yeah.
Okay. This is a KVM switch that works over the internet, or over your local LAN, or through a VPN, or through CGNAT, just fine. So this has a web interface. You can also run their app and access it through their cloud app if you need to get past CGNAT that way. I'm running a Mac Pro here with Docker and 4 or 5 apps for stuff around the house. And I don't have a monitor on that machine. I was hooking it to the TV and using it when I needed to use it, but that TV is up there. And I have to sit here like this with the keyboard down here, and it gets a little awkward. But I don't need to access it all the time. This thing is a excellent KVM. You literally plug it in. You plug in a USB cable to it for your mouse and keyboard. You plug in the HDMI out of your computer into this dingus, and you plug it in the network. It ain't Wi-Fi. That's the only downside.
Oh, yeah.
I don't care because I have plenty of wired connectivity here.
Sure.
But this thing is awesome. So a use case for this is absolutely on a PC that you have connected to your radio in your shack. Now I'm using a Flex. It's a different paradigm, but if I had an ICOM or something out there and I could put this little, one of those little micro PCs on it, don't need a monitor, can jump into that PC and fire FT8 and all that stuff all the time, easy peasy. So
love that.
It's a great little gadget. If you need a KVM, I highly recommend this. This is similarly priced to the Jet KVM, which got a lot of press when it did its Kickstarter. Those are not really available, apparently, because I tried to buy one of those and couldn't get one.
Really?
I don't remember. There was a weird problem with it, but I think that was just availability because the Kickstarter blew up. And they tried to raise 1,000, I think they raised a zillion. I don't remember. But anyway, this also jiggles the mouse. It is potentially possible, depending on the configuration you use with this, to have OS level BIOS control. So you would have hardware access to the BIOS setup screen on your machine. So if you needed to change something in the BIOS, you could do it remotely with this.
Which is super handy.
Yes, super handy.
Oh my gosh.
So freaking awesome. Link in the description below. They are not a sponsor. This is something I bought that I use with this little trash can back here is running Linux Mint and Docker, running my reverse proxy manager and Portainer and Pi-hole and something else I forgot. And that's how I access it, is with this box. And I can do this locally on the LAN. I have a VPN from my work computer here, so I can also jump into it that way. But if I use their app, I don't even need the VPN. I can cloud access it too. So
I'm gonna try that out. I've got. It's ironic you bring this up because I found a similar device that I loved so much. I ordered another one that I've started a review video on, but this one may have
highly recommend.
a different. It's got an added feature, that mouse jiggler feature. You know what that is, right?
Yeah, it's moving the mouse.
Yeah,
so that your doesn't go into power save.
I have one at work at because we're IT, and it's like I'm constantly getting distracted to other monitors, other computers, and we're hard set to lock in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And this thing will move your mouse 1 pixel every 20 seconds.
Well, I consider it like a range safety feature. Here's your obligatory hunt for Red October. I know Captain Tupolev. Right now he is removing the safety features from his weapons.
He won't make the same mistake
twice. That's right.
1 ping only, please.
Yeah. So this keeps. I turn off that power management crap. Because I freaking hate it. I can pay the electric bill. Just send it. But anyway, so highly recommend. I got one other thing I wanted to share with you guys this morning, and this stuff is kind of ham adjacent, but well worth it. So that is not the right one. Is that the right one? That's not what I wanted. Synergy software, KVM. There we go. That's it.
Oh, I think I've played with this before.
So this is a software keyboard mouse switcher. It is not video. So, for example, here, I have a Mac Mini right here, which is what I stream off of now. And the Mini shares a monitor with the Windows machine, and I also have a small portable monitor that the Mac is connected to. So with this software running on my main machine, which is Windows, and this Mac over here, all I literally have to do is move my mouse across to that monitor, and now the mouse is on the Mac. And I'm done on the Mac. I move the mouse back off the screen of the monitor, and literally it pops back in Windows. Dude. So this is, and I think it's like $50 for the best license they sell. I don't remember exactly. And I'm, again, not a sponsor. I'm sharing the wrong screen. It changed tabs on me. That's the tab I wanted to share.
There you go.
Not a sponsor. It's just a product I use, and it works flawlessly. At my office, my main computer is a MacBook Pro. My old computer is another 2013 trash can that I repurposed with Linux Mint on it. I have a spare monitor hooked up to the trash can, and with Synergy on my 2 machines, I literally can just pop over to the third monitor, which is the Mac Pro box, drive it, go back to the MacBook Pro, back and forth. So it works in Linux, Windows, Mac OS perfectly.
We did the exact same thing at work. We have one of those Mac trash cans. It's now running Linux Debian. I think we got Debian on it.
Well, it's got Mint, which is a Debian variation.
All pretty close. So yeah. I think it's our WUSA server that's doing our Windows updates for it.
Yeah, I'm running Docker on this and on this thing wherever. I can't figure out which way to point again. That thing right there, but I've got Docker on it, and then Nginx proxy manager and Pi-hole and Portainer for managing the Dockers, the containers, and all that stuff. So I did have to turn off power management on the NIC that I'm using on this because it would just lose its IP address. It still was connected, but it didn't have an IP address. It just went away. And so I had to go in from the command line and disable the power management voodoo on the network adapter, and the problem was solved. So, but it works great. And between these two things, this is just freaking awesome.
Makes
the difference is
easier.
Yeah. The difference is with Synergy, you need a monitor for your other computer.
Yeah.
It will let you switch the keyboard and the mouse, but you need a monitor for your other computer. And most monitors, and like this one that I keep looking at during the show, I have one up there above the camera, and then I have this one. It has a button, and I just switch between inputs. So when this show is over, I'll switch the input back to the Windows machine, and I'll just have the Mac monitor will just be this little portable one, which is fine for whatever I need to do normally when I ain't streaming. But I recommend those two things. There's so many use cases for those.
Oh yeah.
So very cool. Chris, highly recommend, dude. It's pretty freaking awesome.
And
The GLINet thing works great. Synergy works if you have a monitor for it. You need a monitor with Synergy, but
you need this level of convenience in your life, especially when you get closer to our age. It'll make you live longer.
well, it's just less crap on your desk too.
Exactly. And I am all for less crap.
I fight crap creep every day.
Dude, I've been purging like crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know. Excuse me. I don't know if you've seen my post on X the other day. I've come to realize how many freaking mobile radios I actually have, because instead of boxing them up, I didn't have a box big enough, so I just laid them all out in the bed of the truck because I'm only going 14 blocks, and there's well over 50 mobile radios I took with me, between old ICOMs, some old Vertex, Motorola's. I need less crap in my life. That's just all there is to it.
Right. I've cleaned half of my shop building. My shop is 2 portable buildings that I put together and built a doorway through after I cut out the wall, which is like kind of a moment of terror. Well, we're committed now. Here goes the chop saw. And the back one is a little smaller. It's 12 by 20. So it's actually straightened up now. I could stream out there and I would not be embarrassed for y'all to see anything in it. Before, it was like a tornado went through, very localized in that building. The front one has all the crap I don't know what to do with from the back half yet. So I'm getting there. I'm getting there.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like a hoarder every time I'm in there. So
yeah, I got that feeling a little bit. My wife really guilted me into a lot of those feelings, but dang it, she was right. I've got to simplify and streamline and make this look a little bit better. And I'm getting there. I'm challenged myself to do so. So we'll see what happens. I want to make a spot where I can take a picture of it and not be ashamed to show everyone.
Right. I'm on the verge here. I keep the camera high and tight so you can't see what a freaking disaster this table is behind me.
Or green screen.
But I know. I just got tired of putting my green screen up and down all the time. I used that as a crutch for quite a while because it was a hot mess before. Now it's just a warm mess. But
yeah, I'm right there with you,
Ronnie. The GLINet. If you want a physical button KVM, I don't know. The ones I have are elderly. I think if I haven't thrown them out, I think I have. They had PS2 mouses and VGA connectors. If you're talking about physical KVMs, and they still make them, I just don't have any of those. And there's no reason for it because that requires physical connections to your monitors and keyboards and mices. With this, it's plug this GLINet dingus into the computer you want to control, and you can do it through a web browser or through their app. So,
and we've got some physical button KVMs in dispatch, and they wear them out like crazy because they're constant
Bricker. Yeah, man, I can't remember if this does 4K or not. It's not anything I care about with this machine because this thing's only doing 1080 30 anyway. 1080
I think that
60
KVM
maybe.
you put up there was 4K at 30.
Okay.
The one
you
were showing.
4K it's like Betamax. It's going to go away sooner or later. Or HD DVD. I was on the wrong side of that war. I have all my videos are in HD DVD.
My brother years ago did his research in the 80s. He had a Betamax player when they first came out, and rented Betamax movies. And then all of a sudden he wanted to sell it to my parents.
And he was trying to recoup his money.
He bought a VHS machine and Betamax went away.
Yeah. I don't know how I came down on the right side of that one, but I did with VHS.
Yeah.
And probably because the video rental place at Luke Air Force Base in the BX only had VHS, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Probably. So that's what I rented, I guess. I don't remember. And then I ended up buying one from J.C. Penney's. It was like $800 for that.
Yeah, I think my brother bought a VHS video camera for $14.99. all them years ago. It's like, what? They're just stupid high, and now you get a better video on your phone.
Yeah, Ronnie, they make KVMs that will do that, and there may be something from GLI Net. I don't know. I'm not in that particular use case scenario. But I can tell you that the more ports you have, the more dollars you're going to spend. I really like the ability to be able to access it over the internet, and I think some of those other ones will let you do the same thing. And the GLI Net ones, you can access them all from your account with the app too, so you don't have to, you know, I've got mine running through Nginx, so I can go to my domain, you know, kvm dot whatever, and I get to it through the proxy manager, but there's 100 ways to do that. Laserdisc. Yeah.
And for a minute too.
I had a buddy who had a bunch of those.
Halfway through the movie, you got to flip it over.
Yep. All right. Well, guys, we are past time, and Fredward and I are of an age where we might need to make water.
It's a high possibility.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for showing up this morning. We have 101 in here now. That's the most I've noticed, but thank you all for coming.
Well, and, Jim, thank you for having me on the show. I really appreciate it.
Well, I think you're going to be like a regular guest host. You'll be like Leno to my Carson. Ooh. You know, when I need a guest host, I'll hit you. To be fair, I did ask Joe Brett first.
Oh, it's all good.
But he had reasons, and he's already guest hosted once already.
Oh, bless his heart.
Yeah, or is it Joan Rivers? Who was the one that always guest hosted for Johnny all the time? Was that Leno or Joan Rivers?
Well, Leno did it. Letterman did it a few times. But Joan Rivers did it a lot.
Yeah. Anyway, fellas, I'm hitting the button. Thank you all. 73. Have a great day. Get on the air. Button engaged. Awkward time.